Hey everyone and welcome. If you've ever found yourself staring at the Unity editor, clicking around and just wondering how you make things actually do stuff, then you are in exactly the right place. Today we're going to build that bridge from the visual editor to the power of code. We're going from zero to writing your very first working line of C#. Let's do it.
You know, when you first start a project, your game world is, well, it's a silent stage. It might be beautiful, but nothing's happening. Code is the script. It's what tells your actors what to do. It's how you give your game a voice. So what we're doing today isn't just learning a technical skill. We're learning how to make our worlds speak.
So first things first. Before a writer can start their masterpiece, they need a pen and paper, right? For us developers, our pen and paper is something called a code editor or an IDE. It's just the program where we're going to write our C# scripts. There are a bunch of options out there, but we're going to set up one of the most popular and powerful tools available, Visual Studio Code.
Getting our workspace ready is a really simple two-step process. First, we need to basically introduce Unity to Visual Studio Code so they know how to talk to each other. And second, we're going to give our editor some superpowers using extensions. This will help it understand all the special commands that Unity uses. So let's get them connected.
So what's the big idea here? It's simple, really. We just need to make sure that when you double-click a script inside of Unity, it automatically opens up in the right program. This is all about building a seamless bridge between the game engine and our code editor. It's a tiny setting, but trust me, it makes the whole process so much smoother.
Okay, let's do this right now. Hop into your Unity project, go up to the top menu bar and click on Edit, then find Preferences in that dropdown. A new window should pop up. On the left side of that window, you'll see a list. Find External Tools and click on it. The very first option you see should be External Script Editor. Just click that dropdown and pick Visual Studio Code from the list. And that's it. You've officially told Unity, hey, this is my code editor of choice.
All right, so by default, Visual Studio Code is an amazing tool for writing all kinds of code. But it doesn't know anything about Unity specifically. It doesn't know what a game object or a transform is. So we need to install a couple of little helpers, called extensions, that basically teach it the language of Unity. This is what gives us those awesome features like autocomplete and little hints while we're typing.
So go ahead and open up Visual Studio Code. Look over on the left-hand side at that main toolbar. You're looking for an icon that's made of 4 squares with one kind of flying away. That's the Extensions Marketplace. Click it. In that new search bar, first type C#. The one you want is going to be right at the top from Microsoft. Go ahead and click Install. Once that's finished, clear the search bar and now type in Unity. Look for an extension called Unity Code Snippets from an author named Clever Silva and install that one too. With those two installed, our code editor is now officially a Unity development powerhouse.
Perfect. Our workspace is all set up. The tools are ready to go. So what's next? Well, we need to actually create the file that's going to hold our code. In Unity, we call these files scripts. So let's jump back into the Unity editor and create our very first C# script.
Okay, look for your project panel in Unity. It's usually down at the bottom, and it's where all your files and assets live. Right-click in an empty spot in that panel, and you'll get a menu. Go up to Create, and from that next menu, choose C# Script. Now listen closely, this next part is so important. The moment you create that script, its name is highlighted, waiting for you to type. Do not click off of it. Don't do anything else. Immediately type out the name for your script. For this one, let's call it Print to Console.
I really can't stress this enough. We're about to talk about the #1, single most common error that trips up every single beginner. Getting this right from day one will save you so much frustration later. It's a super simple rule, but it's the absolute foundation for how Unity understands your code.
And here's why that last step was so critical. See, inside every C# script, there's a line that says public class, and in the name. You can think of this as the script's internal legal name. The rule is incredibly simple. The file name must perfectly match that internal class name. If your file is named myscript.cs, but the code inside still thinks its name is new behavior script, Unity just gets confused and breaks. They have to be identical.
So let's just hammer this home one more time. Burn this into your brain. The file name must match the class name, always. By naming the file the second you create it, you let Unity handle this matchup for you automatically. It's the golden rule. It will save you so many headaches, I promise.
All right, our script is created, it's named correctly, and now it's time for the main event. Find your print2console.cs file in the Unity project panel and double-click it.
This should now pop it right open in Visual Studio Code. Let's write some magic. When the script opens, you'll see a bit of code is already there. Don't get overwhelmed. We're just going to focus on one part for now, the section that says void start. This is a special function that Unity understands. Think of it like a starting pistol for a race. Any code we put inside those curly braces right after start will run exactly one time the very second you hit that play button in the editor.
So how do we tell it what to do? We're going to use a command called debug.log. This is basically your own private communication channel with the game engine. It lets you print out little messages to a special window in Unity called the console. Your players will never see this stuff. It's purely for you, the developer, to test things and make sure your code is working.
And here it is, our very first line of code. Inside the curly braces of that start function, I want you to type this out exactly. Debug.log with a capital D and a capital L, then an opening parentheses, then quotation marks. Inside the quotes, type any message you want. Then close the quotes, close the parentheses, and finally, and this is super important, end the whole line with a semicolon.
Let's just quickly break this down. It really is like a sentence. Debug.log is our verb. It's the action we want to perform. The parentheses hold the details about that action, in this case, our message, which has to be in quotes because it's text. And that semicolon at the end? That's just the period. It tells the computer, okay, this command is finished, move on to the next one.
We've written our code, but we are not done yet. Before you go back to Unity, you have to save the file. In Visual Studio Code, look at the tab for your script at the top. If you see a little white dot next to the name, that means it's unsaved. Just hit Ctrl+S on Windows or Command+S on a Mac. That dot will disappear, and now your changes are saved. Unity won't see your new code until you save.
Okay, check it out. Our script is written, it's saved, but it's still just a file in our project folder. Think of it like a recipe sitting in a cookbook. The recipe itself can't cook anything. You need a chef, an actor, to pick up that recipe and follow the instructions. In Unity, our actors are our game objects. We have to give our script to a game object to bring it to life.
So here are the final steps. Back in Unity, just click on any game object in your scene. It can be your main character, a simple cube, whatever. With that object selected, look over at the inspector panel on the right side of the screen. Now go back to your project panel, find that print to console script you made, and just click and drag it over into the inspector. You'll see it pop up as a new component. That's it. The script is now attached. The only thing left to do is press that big play button at the very top of the editor.
Okay, the game is officially running. Now, you probably won't see anything new happen in your main game window, but our code did its job behind the scenes. To see the proof, find the Console tab. It's usually grouped with your Projects tab down at the bottom. Go ahead and click on it.
And there it is. You should see your message printed right there in that window. This is it. This is a huge moment. You just gave the game engine a command, and it listened. You have officially opened a line of communication. Your game world is no longer silent. It just spoke back to you for the very first time.
Seriously, take a second and let that sink in. I know it seems like a small thing, just printing a message, but the process you just went through, creating a script, writing a command, attaching it to an object, and running the game, that is the fundamental loop for everything you will ever code in Unity. Moving a player, firing a weapon, creating complex AI, it all starts right here. You've done it.
We started with a silent world, and you gave it a voice with just a single instruction. You've learned the language. So really, the only question left is, what are you going to make it say next? What stories will you tell? What amazing new ideas will you bring to life with the thousands of lines of code that are yet to come? The toolkit is all yours. Now go build something amazing.